And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Panzer Corps 2, Moscow. We're at the beginning of turn 4, and we need to get to being effective, I think. Or at least trying to. Gotta always try. Might not always be successful, but should at least try. Okay, we got the Soviets surrounded down south here. Don't quite have the positioning we need to get any of them. Oh no, that would work. That would give us one hex. We don't really have a surrounding positioning to get rid of one of the Soviet troops, which we'll do. Anyway, we'll leave that city unclaimed. The AI doesn't necessarily take that much advantage of reconnaissance data that it has. Okay, so you're the no retaliation. Although we're not in a position where you could attack someone and not retaliated, so. You get double tap damage, so we can roll you up and just delete that unit. Or not double tap, it's damage and a half. Rapid fire has damage and a half, okay. Oh, actually, I probably could have... Let's do the merger. Not sure if it's going to dismount. Okay, it's fine. The Pioneer, especially if we're doing frontal assaults, the Pioneers want to probably be full units. Not half units that we usually use for encirclements. It hasn't been encircled long enough to actually get rid of. What's the artillery range? That's the artillery range. Okay. Oh, and you retreated in that position, so I'm just gonna have to heal you in spot. No moving there. This is a town, right? Yeah, so the town is close terrain. So I'm probably actually better off just having the Hulk hold still in the in the town there, until relief can arrive. As frustrating as it is to not have relief ready. Well, I guess the Russian Air Force is gone and huddled up to heal. They're not out giving us problems. I might actually prefer them to be out giving us problems, to be fair. Okay, now what do I want to do with my strike craft? Yeah, let's suppress those guys. They're less likely to cause problems. I think we'll be able to do 2 damage. Yeah, we're not being predicted to even do 1 damage. Nope, found the enemy AA. Okay, cycle the turn. Okay. Okay. The Tula garrison has completely surrendered. The Russian plane falls from the sky. These broken pioneers kind of turning into punching bags, but well, they do that so well. I'm not going to complain too much. Yeah, not quite positioned again. To do any attacks down there, up there, not down there, the other way. Yeah, I'm gonna put myself in the river to get rid of these guys. Effectively, I think they can retreat into. It's a vulnerable position, but not one people can't retreat into. Yep. Never mind, that's not a good position. Rather be exposed, or rather not have the units exposed and not have our own guy encircled, than try to encircle the enemy and really get our own guy vulnerabilized. Yeah, I think I'd have to soften up those tanks up north. Bring the dive bomber and bomb them. I got a couple carpet bombers. The higher HP one, can I get attack off on the rocket artillery? Yes. And I suppose I should probably soften the 15th guards there before we try to push through into Moscow Center. Yeah, next turn we should be able to break that tile. Okay, the offensive is still ongoing. Things are going well. But once again, it is the Soviets' turn to cause some pain. Okay. It's snowing. What does this do for as planes? The planes can't do anything. Okay. So I'm going to get some aerial support in some places, but that not be the case this turn. Oh, the river is frozen, which... it's both helping and hurting. Okay. Okay, the 78th fort has... Oh, it didn't fall. We low rolled. Shame. Of course, the planes aren't operational this turn, so we'll heal them. So they'll be more effective on the next turn. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to do a... Pretty sure there's still a tank there, so we're gonna do a frontal assault on the tank, yeah. Oh, the river is frozen, so this isn't, it could definitely be worse. No, actually no. Because the river is frozen, I can do that. That's not too bad. Thinking that's worse. Okay, everything's gonna unfreeze, which isn't... Well, it's fine as long as we can clear that, as long as we can clear this hex, so these forces can keep attacking down here, that's gonna work out. That'll probably recover as long as we pull our guys back south of the river reasonably quickly. Situation up here... Actually, the situation up here may improve once the river unfreezes, because then they're gonna have trouble getting around to the flush in the back. And hopefully we'll have operational usage of our planes again. guess attack into the close terrain when you're a tank fighting infantry. Okay. It's cloudy, so things are going to be less effective from a bombardment standpoint, but that's fine. The river's not in freeze. Well, ground stays frozen. Okay, sorry about that. We had someone ringing. Here we go. We got that tank encircled. Next turn it should be weak enough that we can try to break it. Okay. Get that depleted unit destroyed. Get that strong point destroyed. It's like, maybe we'll get rid of it. Yeah, I'm gonna bring probably the dive bomber. Oh no, the dive bomber doesn't want to come in because we got the fighter there. That's fair. Let's dive bomb. Oh no, we're out of range for that. There we go. I was hoping I could sneak to that hex. We can sneak you to that hex. That'll work just as well. There we go. So we got those guys encircled. We got a little bit of exposed artillery here. Roll around like so. So you heard the no retaliation, so we probably want to do the harder attack, although... Yeah, so it's going to save me 2 damage there. Ah, didn't quite. Treat that hex alive. Gotta go through that guy first, okay. Oh, you can't move. I was That can sometimes be a little bit confusing with the recon cars because they can phase move, so they show as able to be moved even if they can't, because they can move like a fractional movement, which is what this one can do, right? Because in the case of the snow here, he can't move because it's snowing, not because he can't move. So if they were suppressed, they're not currently. Although, giving the carpet bombers in and maybe do some suppression. That'd be a good place to get them to retreat. Did I use the dive bomber? I did, but no, we're not going to do enough damage with the strafe run. Soviet aircraft aren't out and about yet. Although I may be running out of good targets for the aircraft to strike. Yeah, I think I'm out of good targets for the aircraft to strike. Okay. That's a decent one. Yeah, I'll guess let the AT gun. The other one. Okay, that's the turn. Let's cycle the turn. Soviet armor counterattack. Although that was a pretty good place for the infantry to be during the counterattack, yeah. Okay, clouds are gone. Got actually higher damage than I was hoping for. Which, depending on what you're doing, is actually kind of not what you want. Wasn't too much of an issue there. And like an amoeba just engulfing the incoming Soviet counterattack, yeah. Okay, we'll be in a position to burn them out in the next turn. That'll keep them from healing, so we can actually burn them out next turn. Get the fighters to deal with that aircraft. 2 fighters should be enough to take that one out. Of suppression there. That should be enough. Okay, that one's dealt with. Darn. Needed to do 1 damage. Did I get 1 damage? No. And yeah, dive, even though we're gonna get hit with the AA, dive bomb the AA tank here. That's what we're doing. And then I got a carpet bomber. You're at minimum entrenchment already, so you're not worth dive bombing or carpet bombing. I think you were protected by AA. Yeah. That AA bubble. North in that AA bubble. We could hit these guys. It might be worth hitting the cave. If I got no other targets, we'll hit the KV one. I suppose that's another target. We'll hit you. So quite a bit of suppression there to get that one to surrender mostly intact. Although I do have a pioneer there, we can always burn it out if we need to. Yeah, we'll do a little bit of finagling. We can get that guy to surrender, or we'll just mass fire at him, blow it that way. Second turn. So we counterattacks. Coming in hot and hard. Cloudy, but not raining, so we do get to fly. Although, spotting range and stuff is affected. Like a little bit more suppression on that. Achieved. Okay, if we do 1 damage, it surrenders. There we go. Okay. Got some fighters. We probably won't use the fighters to get rid of the enemy aircraft. Oh, the PE-2 here is going to resist. Don't order the Russian soldier to move there. That's not going to work. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I should be able to deal with that, the 43rd, T-34 there. Attack into the middle of Moscow is going. It's not going super well, but it's going. We've taken one of the 3 hexes in Moscow Center on the 9th turn, so I think we're making decent progress. We've got 1, 2, 3 of the 6 necessary control points, and we're threatening, well, I say vaguely threatening one of the 4 optional ones. So we're making progress at this point. Let's go one more turn and we'll see, probably about putting a part break in. Okay, round 10. Again, see if there's Soviet armor arriving. Take the airfield back. Not that we're going to use that airfield anytime soon, but I'd like to know that it's under our control, not over enemy control. Okay. That to keep us from getting airstruck in the main assault on Moscow. The AA assets are a potential problem in here. Running us from hitting the city too hard. Yeah. I think we're gonna hit the bunker. I got a couple fighters. Although, actually, there's the planes. Can I get to the plane? No, we're out of strike range for the plane. Although we wouldn't be if we rebase the north one. We'll do that. We've definitely secured that airfield now, so I'm not worried about being forced to rebase. Okay, if I'm gonna get shot by the AA, the most sensible target is the AA. KV2, doing KV2 things. Okay. So it is snowing, so the planes don't get to do plane things. They're gonna have to de-entrench that AT piece to get it to surrender. And because I don't have an artillery in the area, it's just brute force attacks here. Probably surrender at this point? Yeah. And we can see this is a map where the Soviets get infinite reinforcements. Well, I say infinite; they get a limited number of turn, but they keep getting reinforcements. There's going to be more and more and more coming in. Do the planes need to heal? The fighters could do the slight top-off. This is a snowy turn, so I don't get to shoot that poor fool down. Oh, you need to heal. Okay. Well, the assault is going in. It's slow and glacial in places, but progress is being made. We're gonna basically have the armored units try to chew up the reinforcements coming in as the pioneers and the artillery push through the center of Moscow. I think once again we're at a good place to put a part break in. This is likely to be a map where we're going to do a four-parter. It is Moscow. I think Moscow deserves a four-parter. It's probably going to take a four-parter, so this is probably going to be the entire stream. At this point, I think we're making good time. We've got 14 more turns. I suppose I could cycle the turn. We can see what the Soviets do here. Actually, I'll leave that for the beginning of the next one. But we got 14 more turns where we got to hold all the hexes. We don't have all the hexes, although that's going to be an easy pickup. So one, we'll say we have that one evened out. 3, 4 of the required, or either 4 to 2 or 3 to 3. But we basically got half of the required hexes, and we are moving towards the optional ones. Which we do if we want to, again, do the alternate history path. We need to acquire the 4 optional ones. Yeah, we've broken most of the hard points. We got one strong point between us and sort of sweeping over the city. And the Pioneers, as you can see, the Pioneers are very, very dangerous in these city fights. Specifically because... Where's the modifier in here? Military engineering ignores enemy entrenchment. So instead of having to de-entrench everyone, we just have the Pioneers come up and just burn them out. And that's kind of what we're doing. So that's why we've got specialists on most of our Pioneers. We got rapid fire on this one. This one we've got no retaliation. Just so they can just waltz up to these hard-to-take places and do frontal assaults, which is what they're doing. This is actually why these two over here are struggling, because they're not special. They're just regular Pioneers. Although they still do bonus damage against entrenchments and bunkers, which is why we're attacking the bunkers with them to clear out the bunkers. Once that bunker's cleared out, we'll be able to push probably down here to western Moscow. We just got southern Moscow. Central Moscow is under threat, and the east will probably follow quickly behind. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be another part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, it is time for me to get a replacement cup of tea. So I will be back after a cup of tea is brewed. And then we'll probably play out the rest of the map. It'll probably get divided into 2 parts, so there'll be a short stretch break in the middle. But I think that will be the plan. So until the next part, I wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.